Welcome to the Cardigan Empire YouTube channel. We're continuing in our men's fashion series, and today we're going to show you how to put together the perfect outfit around a tie. In this first ensemble, we're pairing a stripe with a stripe. That's totally fine. We just need to make sure that we have differentiating scale. We have a much smaller stripe here. It's a lot more subtle. We have a much stronger, wider stripe here. It's bolder. And having that contrast makes sure that you have a unified outfit that doesn't feel repetitive. Now let's talk about width. Width is really important. Ties are getting skinnier and skinnier right now. You can get down to a 1 inch at this point, but the standard traditional is a 3 inch. If you stick with a 3 inch, you're never gonna look totally out of fashion. But with this one, what we wanna make sure we do is keep the width of the tie identical to the width of your lapel. So your jacket lapel at the widest point should be the same as the widest point of your tie. That way it's going to feel like you know what you're doing, you're gonna look sharp, you're gonna look pulled together. In this pairing, we're mixing and matching all kinds of patterns. We've got a bolder dominant pattern and we have a supporting simpler pattern. And we make sure we have a unifying color to bring it all together. The bolder dominant pattern is gonna have more colors, more angles, more lines, more detail. Whereas the supporting pattern should have fewer colors, fewer details. That way we don't get too busy or costumey. Next, we're going to look at our tie bar, which like most men's fashion is not only chic, but functional. Because if you're going to be leaning over a table with candles or food, or if you're going to be standing up frequently and shaking hands, you want to make sure that tie isn't going all over the place. Your tie bar should go around both ends of the tie and secure it to the shirt placket. And as far as placement, between the 3rd and 4th is your traditional placement, but depending on your suit coat, whether you're wearing a 2 or 3 button, you may raise it up between the 2nd and 3rd buttonholes. That way you're gonna make sure that it's not too high, not too low, and you're gonna look right on target. This is a really effortless pairing, going monochromatic. It's always nice to have contrast when you're putting a look together. So here we've chosen a lighter hue with a darker hue. And we also have a solid with a pattern. Any of these combinations is gonna make sure you have a strong visual impact when you enter into a room. For length, when you tie a tie, the widest part of the tie should brush up against the top of the waistband or the top of the belt buckle. Then the tip can hang about midway point down. The skinny end of the tie should be long enough to tuck into that tie loop, but not so long that it hangs down below the wider part of the tie. If you do all these things, all you've got to nail is the 4-in-hand knot. It's one of the easiest, unstuffiest knots there is, and if you can nail that one, you'll be good to go for almost any occasion. For our final pairing, we've taken the bow tie into an everyday setting, and one of the top strategies we have for doing that is using a matte texture. You can do this with a clip-on or you can do a tying option, but what you want to make sure you do is just choose something that doesn't have too much shine or sheen to it. We've also taken 2 solids, and when you're putting 2 solids together, you can always experiment with doing contrasting or complementary colors. It gives you just an unexpected touch that adds a playful point as you come into a room. Thanks for joining and watching us in the Cardigan Empire Men's Fashion Series. Continue watching by subscribing to my channel.